Hey everybody, this is Greg with The Dice Must Flow, and also of Sigmar and Son. And recently Mark and I have been playing a little bit of Fantasy Flight Star Wars. And this weekend at Gen Con they had a preview of what was coming out for the rest of the year. And I just thought I'd make a quick video and recap what was going on. So, as you can see, they basically announced 4 new expansions for it. One of which is Anakin Skywalker, and the other is Darth Maul. And I'm really looking forward to seeing these guys on the table. I think they're going to add a lot to the new factions. They've also got Republic Specialists and Separatist Specialists personnel expansions, and we'll talk about those as we go on. So first up, we got Anakin Skywalker, and they said he was going to come in at 160 points, and he has a new mechanic, which is a flaw card. And so basically, it's a card that you're going to give to your opponent, and at some point during the game, he's going to be able to play it to show Anakin's flaw. They also said that Anakin is going to basically build up and get stronger throughout the game, but as he does, he has a potential to, I guess, turn to the dark side, and so that's going to be interesting to see how that works. You can see here he's painted up in his Episode 3 get up. He's not. He's a full Jedi, not an apprentice, and so it looks pretty cool. And if you look at Padme, he's pretty much got kind of the same kind of boots and stuff on as her. So he's going to come with 3 command cards. They did spoil the first one, a 3-pip, which is Hero of the Clone Wars. And you can see that it's Anakin Skywalker and 2 units that he will give commands to. And this is permanent, so I think this is a card you're probably going to want to see, or people are going to play early. And he's going to gain Exemplar and Reliable. And at the end of his activation, if he is not in range 1 or 2 of a friendly unit, he gains 1 suppression. So that basically shows that you want somebody like Obi-Wan or some other unit around to kind of keep him from going too crazy and too much to the dark side. Exemplar is friendly units at range 1 and 2 and in line of sight can spend your green tokens. So he's not going to be able to spend the clone's green tokens. They're going to be able to spend his. Here's a couple pictures of extra sculpts that they had. You can see one is he's in a defensive mode, and the other one is he's kind of doing sort of the old force push type thing. And it'll be interesting to see which people prefer. You can see he's also got 2 heads, one of which is more they described as sort of the cocky grin, and the other more of a serious look. So Republic Specialists is the next Republic expansion they talked about. And this guy has a clone leader, a comms tech medical unit, a medical unit, and an engineer. And so this clone leader is really more than just a unit leader. He's going to be able to be a leader for your whole force. Fit into that leader activation slot. And both clone and drone commanders are going to be at 55 points. I really like the look and the paint job of these guys. They did a great job with it. And I love this guy here talking to the commander. Maybe this is sort of like a Commander Cody type guy. But you can see him talking, and he's got the hollow up, and that's pretty cool. And I really wonder how many people are going to cut that off and put an Emperor hollow in there and kind of execute Order 66. See how that's going to go. We'll see how many people will do that. But they basically said the clone officer will be able to shoot and heal, which is different than most of the medical people that are out now. But he's to compensate for that, he's not going to heal as much. And all minis are going to come with Phase 1, Phase 2 heads options, as well as helmetless options. So here you can see one of those helmetless options where he's holding the helmet in his hand. And this expansion comes with 3 command cards. And so we can see one of them here. They said that the 1-pips on these expansions are going to focus on vehicles and how they might interact with the clones. So you can see this is an activation. It's going to give an activation token to 1 vehicle. But after a friendly vehicle unit is issued an order, you can choose a friendly clone trooper unit at range 1 to 2 and issue an order to that unit. And this is going to set up the ability for basically fire, where the clones are going to be able to add fire, because basically a clone unit that has an activation token can support fire into another unit. So basically you could have the vehicle and the clones go ahead and shoot, and maybe you're going to try and do all of that at, at somebody like Grievous or something, when you're really trying to get a lot of dice into the dice pool. And so that's the 1 pip for the clone specialists. Darth Maul. Now this is the mini I think I've been waiting for, and I really, really love this mini. I think that I made some notes over here, but if you can see this object source lighting paint job that they did on this, it's pretty incredible. You get the red kind of glowing back all the way over here onto the belt and onto the to the robes, and I just love it. So anyway, unlike Anakin, Darth Maul is going to be an operative, and so the droids still have only expensive leaders, but that'll be addressed later in this next expansion. So also, Darth Maul is 160 points, and he does have a flaw card also, but they didn't really talk about what his flaw might be. We can build him in 3 different positions. One where he's got the lightsaber back behind him, like you see here, and the other where he's got it in front of him, and the other where he's holding it two-handed. They did mention that this lightsaber, dual-bladed lightsaber, does 8 dice of damage, and it's pretty much all a single attack. So he can really put a hurt on a single unit or person. They didn't say what was going to be, if it was all red or all whites. I imagine it's probably a combination of whites, of reds and blacks. Also notice the face tattoos for Maul. They are raised, and I think that's going to help people paint it and try and get a good result. Maybe they can dry brush and get that, pick up those higher ridges, or maybe some sort of wash or something in the lower layers can keep the red from showing up if you get too much over it. I really think this is an awesome mini, and I'm so looking forward to it coming out. So here you can see the extra poses that they have. You can see one, I guess, with the two-handed lightsaber in front, and one where he's holding it with 2 hands. And you can see he has 2 different helmets. One where he's kind of just concentrating, and one where he's given that look right before, right before he enters combat. So Maul also comes with probe droid detachment. I think there are a couple of these probe droids that are available, and because it's a detachment, he doesn't, playing wise, you have to pay for them. So just like C-3PO, when you pick R2, build R2 in your list, you have to buy C-3PO. So you're going to have to buy probe droids. And so these guys are going to use a new mechanic, which is an observation token. And they said that the observation token is something that can help influence the battlefield from far away. We don't really know what they're going to be, but that's kind of what was described. So they went ahead and spoiled one of Maul's 1 pip cards, and that's right, it said 1. So he has 2 1 pip cards, although one of them will count as a 3 pip for deck building. So he has 2 of these 1 pip cards, and the one that they spoiled is he's going to gain 1 dodge token and 1 disengage. He's going to gain the 1 dodge token and disengage. And while Maul is engaged with an enemy unit, that unit cannot spend aim, dodge, standby, or surge tokens, which is huge because, as you know, the clones basically get to share those. And so he's going to lock that down where they're not going to be able to use those. I had a little observation I was going to talk about here, that Maul, it's listed as Maul, not Darth Maul. And so that's kind of interesting. Do they have a different Maul that they're going to build, a Darth Maul or something with the spider legs that, spoiler alert from Clone Wars that he gets. And as you can see here, you got Qui-Gon in this art. And so does that mean Qui-Gon's coming? So that'll be quite interesting. So the Separatist Specialists, and I always stumble when I'm saying that. It's got a T-Series Tactical Droid Commander, a Medical Droid, a Viper Recon Droid, and an Engineer. The Commander Droid is, like we said, the same points as the Clone Commander. And that's going to be so important because, as we already talked about with Maul, you got Grievous, you got Dooku. Both are really expensive miniatures when you're building an 800-point list. You know, if you wanted to try and take Grievous and Maul, you'd be almost halfway through your points. One. And this tactical droid commander then allows you to take more guys in that operative slot. So here's a picture of what they look like from them. You can see the medical droid. He's got all sorts of tools and implements and everything. They got an engineer droid. Maybe he's good. I don't. They didn't talk about what he might do, but he might, you know, help vehicles or something. Your commander and your recon droid is going to be able to do an observation token, just like Maul's thing. They spoiled a 1-pip card, for the Separatists, and that was mechanized incursion. And like I said earlier, they showed the 1-pips that were concentrating on vehicles. And this guy, after a friendly vehicle unit is issued an order, choose a friendly droid trooper unit at range 1 to 2 and issue that unit an order. So this is a vehicle. It could be these staff troopers. It could be droidicas. It could be their tank. So, but like when you actually activate a droid trooper next to it, most of them have the comlink capability where they're going to be, you're going to activate one, it's really going to activate a whole bunch of them. And so that's really important, I think. So this one card is really going to activate a ton. A little observation on this, I don't know if this means anything. You can see some Gungans down here and the Gungan shield bearers and stuff. And I hope that means that they're going to have a Gungan army come out, because I really would like to see that. So the two commander and operative expansion, Anakin and Darth Maul, is going to be available November 2020, and the specialist expansions are going to be $27.95 and coming around the end of December. So as you might have noticed, the only Republicans and separatists were talked about today. So what's next? First up, they said that rules reference and points changes were coming out soon, but they didn't say exactly when or what those points would be. And they also said that the next 4 units will be Rebel and Imperials. 2 of them will be characters, and 2 of the units were some of the most asked for units. So I'm trying to think out what that might be. Maybe it could be, maybe it's Qui-Gon, maybe it's Thrawn, maybe it's I don't know, maybe it's Ewoks, something. Anyway, don't know. Let me know in the video comments below what you think it might be, what you guys would like to see. And so that's it for today, where I was just going to kind of quick recap of what they talked about. I'll be trying to do some more Star Wars videos in the future. And thanks, and have a good day.